welcome back for a special election edition. Please help me welcome Jaden Corner.
Hey y'all. I'm glad to be back.
Good to see you. We've been on for a long time. This crowd's going nuts.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So hey, what's up, y'all? I definitely can't say I'm glad to be back. It's been a very long time since I've been in this seat. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to be here. Let's see, what have I been up to? I just been, there's been a lot going on. For one, schools. I've been involved with. I go to Bronx Community College. I major in cybersecurity. And I feel as though, for one, that's a very good job for me, just because I have a personal interest in, computers. So, yeah, that's my goal. And I just like to help people in general, whether it's out in the community or just, like I said, with my personal passion, which is computers. That's what I like to do. So, yeah. And on the plus side, it makes a lot of fun. But, yeah, the main reason is, just a personal passion of mine. So, yeah. Also, what have I been up to? I've gotten more involved with music. I definitely have been practicing organ, piano, and drums a lot. I've been just trying to get better at my craft, just developing it more, and not only just developing it more, just having a greater appreciation for my gift, and just not wasting it on just laying back and doing nothing with it, instead of me because I used to be the person where I just, get up on Sundays and just play drums at my church, just for like an hour, 2 hours, and then not practice any day of the week, or even just practice one day, where I really should, be practicing multiple days of the week, or even if I just take 1 or 2 days out the week and just practice for like many hours, because I can't just waste my gift. I have to continue to train it and get better as the years go on. So yeah. And what else I've been up to? Yeah. Also at my home church, I have been trying to get more youth back. Right now, it's just me and my sister at my church. So I'm trying to get more youth back here. I've been talking with other people, just about, how do I get the youth back in the church? Or how do I get the people that have left church, how do I get them to come back? And, you get a variety of answers, and ones the answers are very, very interesting. But I feel the ones that I hear the most, that I guess are the most hurtful, is just like, I'll use my church for example. This church hasn't been very, very kind to me. Basically, church hurt, And I feel as though church hurt is very real, but I also feel like though we could get people back in the church just by connecting with them on a deeper level for the people who have left the church, and also for the youth that I just that's my goal, to get more youth in my church. One way I could do that is just by, like I've been doing, just connecting with other people, asking around, promoting my church on social media. That's a big one. Promoting my church, whether on Insta, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, any and all social media, TikTok, just because that's the way that's not only the way I feel, but that's, I believe that is the new wave, so to speak, that we should be trying to get the youth in this generation in church. Because if I'm speaking from personal experience, that's how I know when I go to, other churches. Because if anybody knows me, they know I like to go to other churches, fellowship. My pastor always says that, Jaden be everywhere at any church, it doesn't matter the denomination. And I just like to, fellowship with other churches. I also like to bring what I learned from other churches back to my own church, my own home church, so I can grow. And not only just so I can grow, but we can all grow together. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to. And what else? I would say one more thing I've been up to is just, just taking more time to, pray and talk to God more. And definitely, for sure, one thing my older sister / mentor told Stacia, she told me is to, prayer is fine and good, but I should really just be getting in the Word a lot more and just taking the time out of my day to even read, a scripture of the day. Just reading more of God's Word is very important. And it's like when life gives you problems, you can just relate that back to scripture and you can find the answer to all your problems there. So I've been doing more of that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. So it's definitely been an interesting ride. But, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, here to help me with this election topics, here's Derek Hall.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
It's good to see you again.
Oh yeah, man, it's good. You guys, you wanted to do the show. There's been so much going on with this election. He hit me up and said, Derek, we got to do the show. We got to cover so much that's going on between Harris and Trump, and it was. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be here. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So the first topic we have, Beyonce and Kelly speaking at the Kamala Harris rally. And the question is, why are celebrities so involved with this election?
It's crazy. I haven't seen so much endorsements. I feel like Kamala Harris is getting so much endorsements from Taylor Swift, the Swifties. You got Beyonce, Oprah, Michelle Obama. They're important. They play a role. I don't necessarily think they will swing either way. I think the people who are not struggling, but the people that work that 9 to 5, the people that are really dealing with some everyday life situations, they play a real factor. Me and you, we play a real factor. The ones just trying to make it ends meet, those play a good factor. But it helps. Those endorsements help. It's amazing. I know later on, I'm sure you're going to talk about President Trump trashing Puerto Rico, calling it a garbage island. Well, one of his a comedian that he knew for firsthand and vetted him firsthand, by the way. He said something, and it had Puerto Rico celebrities riled up. Bad Bunny, J-Lo, they all supported Kamala Harris, but they was already going to do that, I believe. But it's amazing what one person's voice can do, and whether it's negative or bad, it played a factor. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel as though, honestly, I feel like it is important that celebrities are involved with this election because it is very crucial, specifically this election. And I feel as though celebrities, when they endorse Kamala Harris, or even Trump, they're not speaking from a place of celebrity status. They're speaking from like a personal place. They're speaking for them, their families, their friends, people in their position.
No, it was Beyonce was out last week and she was campaigning for Kamala Harris, and people was upset with her because they wanted to hear her sing. But she said that she's not here as a Beyonce, she's here as a mom, she's here as someone that, she's taking this seriously. Because there's a lot of women rights on the line, and I won't speak for a woman because we're not women, but we understand women's rights, and it's their, no government man should be telling a woman what to do with their bodies. But yeah, it's a powerful thing. It really is. It's a powerful thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Republican, former governor of California, is supporting Kamala Harris. He's putting country before politics. I think a lot more people need to do that.
Yeah, and I feel as though one would ask the question like, why are so many celebrities now coming to support Kamala Harris when an election is tomorrow? So that's a good question to ask, and I know the answer is because honestly, I call it like the political, you call it jokes or the political party. I guess what the Trump party is doing. They're just still making waves, they're still telling jokes about certain races. They're still being funny, they're still acting a certain way. And, honestly, I believe that the Trump party and, he doesn't take the, presidency seriously.
Oh yeah.
And, I just feel as though Kamala is, the better choice.
Yeah. Now, are we endorsing her? Is Jaden Corner endorsing Kamala Harris? I guess we are.
Yeah.
We're endorsing Kamala Harris. But yeah, I agree. Celebrity endorsements play a factor. I think a lot of people are going to turn out tomorrow, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting night.
Yeah, and two more points. My first point is I just feel as though celebrities are involved with this election more so specifically just because they feel like, I guess, the fate of, United States just relies, I guess, on their opinion because, well, I'll say this, a lot of people look towards celebrities for, their opinions. Okay, what does my favorite celebrity think? What does my favorite actor think? What does my favorite, music artist think about this topic or that topic? And then that'll sway my opinion on the topic,
Another thing we need to take away, they're still Americans. Yeah, they're rich, famous Americans, but they're still American. They have a right to vote as well. It's a 50-50 though, but because they're rich celebrities and everything and like that. I want to hear from the average Joe. I want to hear from the blue collar workers and stuff, but they are still Americans. They have a vote. They have a right to vote, and yeah, we'll just see what happens tomorrow. And hopefully, it was enough to get who we want in the White House.
Yes, because even though she had a very late start,
oh yeah,
I still believe do all the the publicizing her and just do all the the elections and everybody trying to support her, and even now she's still doing that, being having rallies to support her.
yeah.
I feel like she is gonna win because just like she is the better candidate to be president.
I agree. Yeah. Totally agree with you. She's the better candidate. There's certain things in the policies we're not all going to agree about, but listen, I will take her policies over his policies any day of the week. And let's just move forward. Her campaign is, we're not going back. And I saw those 4 years as you did. COVID, the Black Lives Matter movement, the riots. It's just a depressing time. And I don't think whoever wins, God is still in control, no doubt about it. But I just don't see it. I don't see where we need to have 4 more years of nonsense and stuff, I don't want to say on this, I know you have more topics and the rest of the show. I just don't see it. But whatever happens, we also need to be prayed up. Um, we need to be prayed up because
Yeah.
yeah, we just need to be prayed up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we live in a crazy world,
Oh, yeah.
and it only gets crazier day by day. And like, what's so funny to me is like, not only do like, just celebrity, like movie actors, or music artists support, Kamala Harris or Trump, but I see pastors now. They support. I guess they're in a way, if you're a big enough pastor, you're like a celebrity in the world's view. Like, I'll bring up an example, Jamal Bryant, Dr. Jamal Bryant. He supported Kamala Harris and endorsed her. Not only did he endorse her, but she actually spoke at his church. I believe it was a couple weeks ago, or at least like a month ago. Very recently, she spoke at his church. So I'm like, wow, it got to that point where everybody, no matter, what celebrity status you have, you're supporting, who you want to support.
Well, for me, I never thought of pastor as a celebrity, but Pastor Wayne Williams, our pastor here at Mount Hebrew Baptist Church, he has, said that he wouldn't want somebody like that in the White House. He has, said that he's unfit, and I agree with our pastor, and so yeah.
Yeah, one final point. Like, we already seen what a Trump presidency does. From 2016 to 2020, we already seen what that happens. So, just me personally, I don't understand why anybody would want that again.
Well,
and again, also, on top of that, he's now a convicted felon.
His trial his sentencing in November 12th. One of the things about this country, whether we like it or not, we are entitled to vote for whoever we want. But I just want to get back to the respect. If you was to, God forbid, vote for Trump and I'm voting for Kamala Harris, we don't have to tear each other apart. And I just think we got away from that. We have gotten to more hate. More hate's being shown. And I'm not going to put it all on the Dems. I'm not going to put it all on the Republicans. But we just need to be a unity,
Unified front.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, speaking of hate, this comedian, that leads us to our next topic.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Tony Hinchcliffe, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but he basically made a racist joke about Puerto Rico being a floating island of trash, and he got major backlash for that. So I just want to know, what is your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Last Sunday for the rally, he called it garbage. And, I like sense of humor. I have a dark sense of humor. But when it's disrespecting a whole beautiful island like Puerto Rico, never been, but, I know there are so many beautiful people that have come from that island. And him to say stuff like that, what is he trying to get with saying something so vulgar and so disgusting like that? And if people still vote for Trump after this, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But are you surprised at anything he?
Honestly, even though I was a little bit surprised by that joke, because I'm like, wow, like that just shocked me, because I'm like, you're just gonna say that out loud? A person like him, he would say that at least privately.
I don't think he should have said that
all privately. You should say that. Honestly, you should say that. But it's like, it didn't shock me. Well, it surprised me a little, but when I realized it, and after like a day or so, my opinion changed. It didn't shock me because of the fact that first of all, this whole political climate that we're living in is a circus.
Yeah.
And that Trump, I believe, will do anything to get votes, and anything. And honestly, I don't know why the comedian made this racist joke. And believe me, it was a racist joke. It
Oh
wasn't
yeah, there was just
dark humor. It wasn't lightly
there was
racist
more. There was
humor.
more. They're just highlighting that, but there was more he said that night. But also, she capitalized on it because while that was playing, while he was saying that, it showed her that night in I forgot what it was at, but she went to Puerto Rican restaurants and she was, shaking hands with the Puerto Rican voters because their votes. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they're allowed to vote in the presidential election, but their voice matters, and it just shows that that's what's classism. President Trump is saying that he never met the guy, he never heard of him, but you guys for him. So he just wandered into MSG and said, "Hey, let me help you out here. I got a few jokes to sell." So,
Yeah, even though Trump's team saw the joke, saw everything that he was gonna say, they saw it,
yeah,
they approved it,
They approved,
and then he
yeah.
read it off of the teleprompter. So obviously, he knew about it,
mhm.
So it's like, and then what J.D. Vance said, he was like, oh, United States now, everybody's so sensitive. What? Like,
Yeah, he said at his rally, everybody needs to just learn to take a joke or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's jokes and then there's things. It's not time to joke. You got people's, there's so many things on the ballot: abortion rights, economy, immigration. There's not really a lot that matter.
why is anybody joking at a political rally?
Yeah. Well, Trump
Are
and
you bringing
Trump and them are entertainers. Let's not forget. Before you go to break, though, I just hope and pray tomorrow. I just hope the election is over.
Yeah.
It's been a real whirlwind of political attacks and for both sides. I hope we can literally move forward, regardless of who wins. But don't get it twisted. Here at Jaden Corner, we already picking Kamala Harris, but we're hoping that we can have a peaceful few years ahead of us. We're praying to God. There's been enough bloodshed and stuff. Doing everything. I'm praying that we don't have a January 6th.
Yes.
I remember that day. I was here with my pastor looking at it on the TV. My pastor said, and I quote, "If that was black people, this would not have been happening." And I couldn't agree more with my pastor. Yeah. Imagine my big self just climbing, 6'7", just climbing on top of the, game over for me. So I'm hoping that we have a peaceful few days ahead of us after the election, but just hope.
Yeah. And one more thing about this second topic is that the comedian, I feel like, not even him, because, Trump's team approved the joke. So I feel as though Trump and his team, they appease, they know their audience. So they try and appease to them. They give them what they want, basically,
Yeah.
And I feel like his audience is, is a select group of people. Well,
Yes, we have to watch what we say. And people are watching. So anything you say, you're going to get some heat. President Biden got some heat right now because he, even though he didn't mean to say that, he said Trump supporters are garbage. That's what they're spinning, but he wasn't necessarily saying that. But any slip up, they'll shoot you down. So you got to be on your P's and Q's, and I don't think them getting that comedian was the right choice.
No, it wasn't. And I'm glad he's getting backlash. I'm just glad he's getting backlash for it because what he did and what he said was wrong.
Yeah.
And I just feel, and you said November 12th, I believe?
Yeah,
14th?
that's when he's supposed to be getting sentenced for his election fraud or Stormy Daniels or something like that. But yeah.
94.
Yeah, he had so many.
Crazy.
So many. And he's still running. I don't know.
Which-
He's still running. I didn't know.
That itself,
You tell me.
that
He's still running.
that itself just
That
shows,
should be enough.
honestly, the white privilege. If we're being honest here. It just, like, who, like, honestly, who has that many counts of like, that many charges and is still running, not the highest office, he's running for president.
Well,
Like,
the best way for him to stay at the jailhouse is to win. But because if he doesn't, game over. But it was really good to be here. I am gonna, we're supposed to go to break, and you won't kill the rest of this show. And it's really good to be here. Take us to break.
all right, and we'll be right back with Jaden's Corner. Welcome back to Jaden's Corner. Let's continue with the topics. So our third topic is ballot boxes set on fire in Portland, Oregon, and also Vancouver, Washington. Now, I feel as though, first of all, ballot boxes being set on fire, that's crazy, because who even does that? Like, also, but the main point of this is, why would anybody do that? I feel as though, I think that it was done, honestly, if I'm being honest here, inside Trump's team. Somebody, I guess on the Republican side, set fire to, the ballot boxes because, they don't want, some votes to go to Kamala Harris. So I feel as though that's why they set, fire to ballot boxes. But honestly, why is that even happening in the first place? Can't we just live in like, a civil society where people just act normal and they don't act crazy? Like that, honestly, that's crazy to me. But I honestly think some people do that because they love, they not only love Trump, but they love the idea of just staying on top, and they just love the idea of having privilege, So I feel as though anything they can to stay that, for them to continue to live that privileged lifestyle, they're gonna do it. And so if that means, setting fire to ballot boxes, they will do it. And honestly, I truly feel that's not the only ballot boxes that are gonna be set on fire. Because honestly, November 5th, there's gonna be a lot, I believe there's gonna be a lot of fights. There's definitely gonna be some more ballot boxes being set on fire. There's just gonna be a lot of disruptions that doesn't need to take place in an election. I just feel as though we as a society in the United States need to get back to a place where we can, unite as a front and just honestly stand together. And even if we have, difference of opinions, because, everybody has a difference of opinion with everything, we can ultimately come together and just love each other and respect each other no matter what. So yeah, I feel as though, again, with this ballot boxes being set on fire, like, all that does is just causes more disruptions and more confusion. And honestly, I don't think that whatever this man intended on doing to set this, the ballot boxes on fire, is not gonna work. And he probably is in jail right now for doing that. So good for him. So yeah. So the next topic is about Dr. Phil. He made some comments. He basically just missed the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is DEI. He claimed that this country was built on hard work, not on DEI. And his comment quickly grew criticism, and many accused him of oversimplifying American success. And what's my opinion on it? I feel as though my opinion is honestly that, first let me just say this, I disagree with Dr. Phil. I feel as though this country was not built on hard work, especially by, white men, white people. I felt that it was built on the backs of, if I'm being honest, it was built on the backs of slaves and the work that they did, while white men and their families just sat up and did nothing and was lazy. I just felt like it wasn't built on the backs of Americans. It was built on the backs of other people doing the real work, while while just white people specifically, while they just did nothing, were just lazy, and they just took the credit for what other people did. So, and if anything, I feel like this country was built on blood and tears, and just, honestly, racism. And like I said, just the fact that he even said that, I believe that it shows maybe a subliminal line of racism, just because, you should know your history, and you should know that, that specifically his lineage being white, that he should know that this country was not built off of just people working hard every day, specifically white people. It was built on the backs of other people and what they did. And best believe me, they took no credit for it. It was white people who took most of the credit, if not all of the credit, because I guess they wanted to be remembered in history. So yeah, I disagree with his statement heavily. And our next and final topic is about, Gen Z. Why are they so crucial in this election period? My thought on that is why are, Gen Z so crucial is because we're not only the future, but we're the present. So I feel like our vote has an immediate impact. And both the candidates know that. That's why I personally feel like they appease to us the most, because I feel like that's where they're gonna get, their most votes from, Also, me as a Gen Z, earlier this year, if I'm being honest, I wasn't really about voting. I wasn't gonna vote at all, just because I felt like, my vote, my one vote, it didn't matter. I also felt like, what's the point of voting if, I'll bring up an example, right? The Trump and Hillary Clinton, that election, even though Hillary Clinton won the popular candidate, Trump won the electoral college. He won that, so overall he won. So I feel as though, why does my vote matter if it doesn't really get anything done? But later, through working with some politicians and just doing research on my own, I realized that, voting does matter. And not to mention, but it is most important, that, my ancestors and the, black people in the past, they literally died for the right for us to vote. Like, actually died. Just for us black people now to vote. And, some black people, they just won't vote. And, it took me, I would say about 6-7 months for my mind to change around just the topic of voting. Because now I'm fully with it, that we really do need to change. And honestly, Gen Z, Kamala Harris, she appeases more definitely towards women, younger women, with the abortions. She definitely appeases to that. And yeah, both candidates, they just know that if they lose the Gen Z, then they lose the election, basically. And I feel as though Gen Z now, I guess through all the political shenanigans, we realize that our vote not only matters, but it matters more, it matters the most to the candidates. So we do our research, or at least we feel what's best in our policies that we live by daily, and we choose the best candidate that's for us. So that's why I feel as though Gen Z is, plays a crucial role in this election. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. And now we're gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back. See ya. Hi, welcome back. Let me give you my final thoughts. So no matter who wins this election, even though I do want it to be Kamala, no matter who wins this election, I feel as though we should come together for just peace and unity. And we should come together because it has been so divisive within these past few months, especially this year. It's just been a complete circus. So I feel as though, again, no matter who wins after this election, we should just come together and we should band together. Because once we realize as people that we have more power than the government, we have the power to really do change and to really affect change within our country. Once we realize that, then we will be better because of it. So, since it's been so divisive, all I want for next year is just, unity, and most of all, just respect, that people, we can have difference of opinions, but we can still, even if we, don't like each other, we can still respect each other at the end of the day, and that's what matters. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.